Okay, well, we're doing our organizational one first anyways.
Yeah, they were bringing some people.
Okay. Let's call the organizational meeting of council to order, special council meeting. Once a year, council gets together, well, exactly this time of year, and we talk about our committee load and appointments. So Ms. Knight, you have a report to give tonight?
I have a couple of reports for you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. Our first one is specific to the deputy mayor appointments. We set this schedule every year for council's last term, and as of last year at the inaugural meeting, we continued our process of having members of council appointed for a 4-month window, going in alphabetical order for their entire 4-year term. This ensures that each member of council serves 2 4-month windows as the deputy mayor. This is, of course, even more critical as deputy mayor is now chairing our committee of the whole meetings. So for the 2022-23 year, our deputy mayor appointments that administration is recommending is Councillor Nagel from October 25th to February 27th, 2023, Councillor Reid from February 28th to June 26th, 2023, and Councillor Wilson from June 27th to October 23rd, 2023. I'm happy to answer any questions council may have about the rotation and or looking for a motion to move these deputy mayor appointments forward.
Okay, thank you. And thank you to those councillors that have served as deputy mayor so far. This looks like it's going to take effect tomorrow. So Councillor Nagel, if you were to agree to the presented outline, you can expect your workload to increase significantly starting tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. I'm joking. We'll wait till 5:30. Council, any questions, concerns? Maybe a motion? Councillor Nagel?
I will move the recommended action and endorse myself as deputy mayor effective tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
Okay. Not seeing any comments. Let's just vote on it then. I'll call the question. All those in favor? Deputy mayor appointments, that carries. Thank you.
I do need to clarify one procedural issue that we missed, which was the adoption of the agenda.
It was such a really good agenda. Councillor Reid, do you want to go back in time?
I'll go back in time and like Back to the Future, no, Back to the Past, I guess it is, and adopt the agenda as presented.
Seeing no comments, all those in favor? Carries. The agenda is accepted as presented and halfway through.
So for the second item on your special meeting agenda is the committee and partnership appointments. We have handled this a little bit differently this year in that there has been conversations with council ahead of this meeting to discuss potential appointments for the 2022-2023 year. On the board right now, you see the suggested appointments, which is status quo with one exception. The only exception from the current year to the future year is that Councillor Reid would take over the Cochrane Planning Commission. All other appointments for all other members of council would remain as they are right now. And I'm happy to answer any questions council might have, and we're looking for a motion to approve the schedule that is now up on the screen.
Okay, thank you. And I think the dialogue that we were having kind of throughout email was that things are working. groups are starting to get back in person and just starting to hit the ground running again. We'd like to keep the continuity with the council membership intact with that, and that was kind of the reasoning behind keeping things status quo, other than the one change. Councilor Reid, you have a comment, question?
Question. I would make a motion, first of all, to approve it with perhaps some amendments. So under the intermunicipal committee with Rocky View County, I just wanted to note that Councillor Flowers and I are all the two councillors assigned to that, and it seems to be missing in the chart.
We'll ensure that's updated, Councillor Reid.
Thank you. That was the only change other than what Marty might have.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Reid. Councilor Padeco?
Yeah, I'd like to add some changes. So I also still sit on the Rocky View Handy Bus Committee, and that is not up there, as well as the Art Task Force. And that Councillor Nagel backs me on the Art Task Force Committee if I'm not there. So those are two things that are missing from there.
Handy bus and the art, the recent appointment to the art task force, yeah.
The Art Task Force has a set schedule, which is why it wasn't included on this particular list, because they are only in place until those recommendations come forward to council. So those will exist for the life of the task force.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think more of my comment is just for people that are looking on maybe the website to know who's actually sitting on those committees. I think it'd be beneficial, and even if you put it on and then remove it once that term is done, I think that would be a good thing to do.
Thank you. We will update the website accordingly.
So just following on that all of these appointments are available on the town website?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, you're good?
Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Nagel?
Two things. Very happy to support the status quo this time around. I just want to kind of put in everybody's ear for next year. I think halfway through our term, after 2 years, I think we should look at shaking it up so we have some variety in our term. I know a lot of us have been all over the place, as this is all of our second term on council at least, but just that. And then, I don't know, is there any interest in an alternate for SDAB, just so someone's officially appointed if it's ever needed? I think Councillor Wilson and Councillor Reid are both trained already, because you need official training for that.
I think that's a great point, Ms.
Through the
Knight.
chair to Councillor Nagel. The other council members who had been certified for the SDAB, their certifications have expired. We would be looking to council next year to provide some recommendations going forward so we can set that training up. Right now, you are the only member of council who is certified to sit on the SDAB.
Okay, I just won't miss any meetings. Perfect.
Councillor Wilson?
I'm just gonna ring in to volunteer if we needed a backup or somebody to recertify themselves. I'd be happy to rejoin next year or be the backup for Councillor Nagel if that's useful.
Okay, I think it's extremely useful. Ms. Knight can get that
That
in
is
the queue.
very timely, Councillor Wilson. We will ensure that you are signed up for training in the new year.
Okay, thank you. No other comments, additional committees? Now's not the time to add them. All right, Councillor Reid, you have a motion on the floor to appoint the representatives outlined in the chart with the amendments. Yeah, okay. All those in favor of that motion? And that carries unanimously. Ms.
Thank you.
Knight,
I would request a 5-minute break while we switch the feed over to the regular council meeting.
you're reading my mind. I was about to ask you that question. With that brings our organizational meeting to a close, and we will take a 5-minute recess to allow the feed to reset and go into our regular council meeting.